Afternoon X-Wing players, welcome to round 4 of the SoCal Hyperspace Trials. I keep wanting to say regionals. Brought to you by GMI Games in Riverside, California. I'm hosting your recording. My name is Michael Deegan. With me, I have a guest commentator from the Academy Rejects. We have
Alex Rico.
And thank you for joining us, sir. How are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Twitch is trying to kill me.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
From old age, but it won't be the first time it's tried.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a top 4 match for you. On the right, we have Sean McCord flying some Rebel Beef. And on the left, we have Ryan Frost flying what I think he's trying to call Republic Pork. But I'm not sure.
Pork or porg?
Pork.
Pork, okay.
Beef, pork, the meat theme.
Okay, it's clever.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know how well it's sticking though. So we'll go over. I'll go over Ryan's list. He's got Sinker in the Arc 170, no upgrades. Luminara in the Jedi Starfighter with the R4 Astromech, and 4 Gold Squadron Troopers with no upgrades. And on the right, Sean's got Wedge with Swarm Tactics and Servomotor S-Foils. Cassian Andor with Tactical Officer, Leia, and the Pivot Wing. Braylon Stram with Jammy Beam, and Tennum with Jammy Beam. That has the lack of the crack shot on one of the B-Wings has given Sean a 1-point bid, which he has taken advantage quite well of earlier today to beat Isaiah Brody, and he has once again gotten some use out of it to give the initiative to Ryan. So it looks like they are all lining up for a heck of a joust.
Yeah, this one might go pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of Ryan's opponents try to make him go through the rocks, through the obstacles, but yeah, Sean's not messing around. He's going straight at him.
I like that because when ships explode, I don't have to keep track of them.
It's a good point. It's a valid point.
And also, it makes for a more exciting game.
Yeah.
I think this B-Wing up front is Tennum. It's hard to see.
Yeah, it's hard to see what the initiative number is there.
Well, I have a 50-50 chance of being right, so I'm going to put this there.
Oh, wait, they're both 4s. Never mind.
And I'm going to put Braylon there.
So Ryan has a lot of experience with this list. He said he's flown it 30 times, and he's only lost twice with this list. He actually lost twice to the same person. Xavier Murguia, who's also in the top 16 at this tournament, who flew Guri and Boba Fett. But he's very good at placing his ships to get that trigger, to activate Sinker's ability to make sure that his torrents all have the reroll on offense. And yeah, he's flown it very effectively. I'd say the last month or so that he's been flying it. Probably 2 months, I should say.
Yeah, he was on stream yesterday against Xavier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was a fun match. We could tell they were having a blast. It didn't go for that well for Ryan, but he has apparently rallied and is now in the top 4. So well done, sir. Ryan figuratively beat the pants off of me at the Arizona System Open earlier this year. He was the only person I lost to in Swiss.
Oh, the Swiss, yeah.
With that crazy ghost list of his. Yes, folks, I said ghost in 2.0 in extended. It broke my brain.
Ryan likes playing these quirky lists that are anti-meta. He's not someone who will just take a net list and fly it. He likes to put his own spin on the list he makes. So this list, we've seen similar lists at this Hyperspace Trials, but I don't think we've seen anyone fly this exact variant. He likes to use this Jedi Luminara for defensive purposes to make sure to help out defensively for his torrents.
Now, so her ability is it when a friendly ship within I want to say range 1?
I believe so.
Is attacked, she can spend a charge to downgrade a force charge to downgrade a crit to a hit, or hit to an eyeball. That's pretty darn good. She has 2 force charges, and all the capabilities of a fairly stock Jedi starfighter.
The one thing Ryan's told me is that sometimes he can't get Sinker to shoot at the enemy ships because he's trying to activate the ability, but sometimes it's hard to be able to get a shot off when you're trying to do that because the ability only activates with the side arcs pointing
Right.
at the friendly ships. So he told me that's kind of the downside to this list at times, is he doesn't have the shots per Sinker available to him.
So it looks like Sean stopped with the U-wing, and Wedge bumped into the back of it. 10 does 1 bank, focus, and oh no, he failed to barrel roll.
Yeah, it's bad news, right?
He is probably doomed.
He's definitely stressed out.
Oh, and I take that back. That was not Wedge that bumped into the back of the U-wing. That was Braylon.
Oh, yeah.
The Rebel beef all kind of blends together when you
Yeah,
see so much of it.
Definitely.
I think we only had 1 on stream yesterday. We did pretty good catching the unusual stuff. So to make up for it, we had a mirror match of Rebel beef earlier today.
Yeah, you're bound to get a few Rebel beef lists.
It's gonna filter up to the top here.
Yeah.
The other table, it's got Potshot with his 4 butterflies, 4 Star Vipers, and do you recall what his opponent's flying? You know, I can just look it up on this thing. Technology, it's
Jack Rebel beef. Yeah. Yeah, it's Rebel beef.
yeah. Okay, Jeff's also flying Rebel beef, so Potshot is prepared to cook the beef. These jokes, they just don't end. But they should, because they're terrible, and I apologize. But
Yeah. So we said Luminar's ability incorrectly. The ability reads, while a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends, if it is not in the attacker's bullseye, you may spend a force. If you do, change 1 crit to a hit or 1 hit to an eyeball result.
okay, so the bullseye arc was in play there, and 0 to
2.
0 to 2, so a bit more range. Okay. Now she does that to mod first, so if the attacker has a reroll, they can reroll whatever she modded. If she modded a hit down to a blank, say, or no, an eyeball.
Eyeball, yeah, it can't go down to a blank.
Can't go down to a blank. Or of course they can spend their focus, or for 10 he can turn 2 eyeballs to hits. Am I remembering that right?
I don't know if it was just 2 or just as a focus.
So initial exchange of fire. We've got our correspondent Mitch Hurst over there. He's running the stats now for us remotely. So it looks like 10 numbs lost a shield. Sean rolling up some dice. Oh, it looks like Gold Squadron Trooper number 2, I'm assuming, has taken 3 damage in the exchange earlier.
Braylon's got a range 3 shot on number 2 there.
Gets the reroll. Nope. Does not.
So is that 10 nub then? Or what happened?
I think he was mistaken on which one it is. Alright, so we're shooting now with the arcs. They're getting rerolls from Sinker. Pace of play is quick, to say the least. We got a reroll and a focus for 2 there. Somebody, 10 has spent a focus to evade out of one of them.
Yeah, you almost have to do your auctioneer voice right now, right?
Jeez.
All right,
Ryan, I've only said... Oh, Ryan.
Oh.
Tried to extract that dice from the formation using the classic Nintendo cartridge cleaning method, and instead literally blew his formation up. But we're moving on. Looks like 2 straight hits.
Is that an evade? Damage card went down.
Yep.
Yeah, that was 1 damage.
10 numb down to 3 hull. I think Ryan would be happy with
I'd be very happy with that.
Went. So we're thinking he's gonna not bring the arc in, but keep it along the edge of the fight, and so its ability is in play.
He'd probably do like a 1 bank or 2 bank with the torrents, and then bring around Sinker on the flank, and then I don't think this maneuver's that should be that surprising.
Yeah.
So he wants to cause some bumps into Sean's list to stop him from doing actions.
So he's getting more mileage out of Sinker, keeping him essentially out of the fight, not trying to force shots with him, and just get his ability. Showing a lot of restraint.
Yeah, typically.
And he's in the top 4 of a fairly large Hyperspace trial, so it's paying off.
Yeah, when I've seen him play, he'd rather have Sinker's ability triggering than having him shoot dice.
I mean, you don't take a tie swarm without Howl Runner. That reroll on for a generic swarm is invaluable. Ryan's probably wishing for Republic Iden.
Although here, I think he'll probably be able to get a shot with Sinker and have the ability trigger. I'm kind of curious to see what maneuver he can do.
Well, unless Sean pops Leia, he's gonna have to move forward.
Yeah.
He's gonna get in. He's gonna get in his own way.
Cassian is stressed? Huh.
He stopped last turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Cassian's not going to be able to do an action this turn, most likely. No, I don't think there's any way. Yeah, so he does a 2 bank towards Sean's formation.
Just to gum up the works that much more.
Yeah, this doesn't look good for Sean right now. The one thing that might be able to fit for Sean is maybe doing the 2K with 10 nub in the front there, but I don't know if he'd risk doing something like that. Oh, moved his ship there. Oh. Okay, so he's barreling in case he does do that 2K. Oh no, he's not. He's just marking the ship. Oh, so he moved these torrents first because he knew the...
Yeah, he moved the back row first.
So they could get an action, yeah. They're seeing whether it fits between those... Whether it fits in that little cluster right there.
Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. So these maneuvers were really a no-brainer for Ryan right here. Yeah, one question I always wondered is, who can outjoust the other in this matchup? Right now, it's looking like Ryan is more efficient right now. Yeah, so he does... It's hard to tell if that's a 2 bank or a 3 bank. Looks like a 3. He's deciding on his action. I think he's deciding whether to barrel or not. Oh, I'm kind of curious as to why he did the 3 bank and not the 2.
Mostly, I'm guessing mostly to keep his arc in play.
Oh. Because if you're gonna barrel roll, can you have just done a different maneuver? You end up roughly the same spot, but
Yeah.
what do I know? I'm sitting here and he's in the top 4, right? Yeah. So this is no surprise that Cassie's gonna bump. The injured Torrent is the number 2.
2, which was in the front row and now is in the back. Got
Yeah.
leapfrogged. Which still he's going to take some shots. He
He
probably will not survive
yeah.
to shoot.
Although, if Sean doesn't have any mods, maybe not. Maybe he does survive. Especially with Luminara's ability activating.
Ah, this is true.
Yeah, this looks really bad for Sean right here.
It looks messy, that's for sure.
Yeah, that damage mitigation with Luminara, that's going to hurt, especially without the mod. Yeah, oh wow.
Who do you suppose Ryan will want to lay into? 10. Oh, 10's close, and you could still probably get several shots on. Probably. No, that's 4.
He'll probably take the shot with number 1, see what damage he does. Because, yeah, number 1 only has a shot. Has 2 shots on the Braylon in the back and Cassian.
Well, 10's down to 3 hull.
Yeah, then after that, yeah, I think he probably just takes out 10. So the only mod that Sean has right now is with Wedge, who has a focus.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I think that Torrent that's at 2 health should go down. But then again, does he save the focus for? So he rolled.
So
I think that was a hit and 2 focuses, right? He saved the focus.
2 hits and a focus, and Luminar downgraded 1 to an I, and yes, he saved the focus.
Yeah. Okay. So who's first player in this?
Ryan is.
Ryan's first player, so he gets to shoot with the Jedi first.
We have this retro icon up here.
Oh, nice. Some 1.0 love, I guess.
Ryan busting out Mace Windu's lightsaber to check arc. Mace isn't using it these days.
So Luminar's ability, oof, just 1 hit.
That first shot must not have been Wedge, because that must have been someone Wedge used swarm tactics.
Oh, that's right. So this one's Wedge. And he did spend the focus.
He did. That first reroll was for a cocked die. The second one from Sinker. I believe this is Luminara shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe 10's move was.
Oh, Temaz does have the stress to use. I didn't see it there.
Well, our correspondent in the pit has removed
Yikes.
10's remaining hit points. So
Yikes. So he saved the stress for offense, it looked like. Yeah.
so that was Braylon shooting from the back.
No, I think that was 10 because he took off the
Oh,
stress.
right. I saw. Okay. Oh my. Someone getting some.
Took some crits. Mitch doing some officiating. It's probably a hold breach or fuel leak or something. Crits have gotten more confusing with the whole fuel leak, hold breach, direct hit combo. I mean, I forget sometimes how that all works.
This is Braylon, I'm guessing,
Into the arc.
getting one more into an arc.
Yeah. Arc's at 1 health.
I'm not. It might be
That's what
that laser. Nothing.
blanks.
I'm guessing that was from Sinker.
Yeah. Who has no mods.
Right. Here come the turrets.
Two hits. Guessing he's shooting at wedge.
Yeah, probably.
2 hits. Saw one blank there.
I think the other one was an evade. Ooh, he's happy with that.
Ooh. Dead wedge, maybe.
Ooh.
So that'd be wedge at 2 health.
Right. Looks like arc number 1 won't have a shot at wedge.
No.
He probably ran through 2, 3, and 4 right there.
It's not whether to shoot at Braylon or Cassian. It's Braylon, I'm guessing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wedge down to 2 hull. 10 numb's dead. Braylon 2 shields remaining. Over on Ryan's side, Sinker has taken a beating and is down to 1 hull. And Gold Squadron Trooper number 2 had down to 2 hull. Now, with both sides pretty much gridlocked, where do they go?
So it's just a situation where you use Leia's ability, probably 4K with wedge, and keep Cassian in place. He'll know where the torrents are. Cassian will know where the torrents are. Decide whether to switch direction. Braylon could do it. Yeah, Braylon's in a kind of an awkward spot. Because he could coordinate Braylon, do a focus barrel roll so that Braylon's stressed, and then maybe do a two bank into Cassian, just intentionally bumped so he has his ability triggered. For Frost, I'd imagine. What are their K turns? I always forget. For the torrents.
It's like a 2. It's kind of weird.
They do a 3K and a 2 Talon roll.
3K and 2 Talon, alright.
So he wants to go that direction. He could do a Talon roll with torrent number 1, do a 3K with torrent number 4, then do a Talon roll with number 3. Possibly do actually the torrent in the back. Maybe use them to block. For wedge, I think there's no way he does. He's probably going to do a 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he has to pop Leia. Start laying in some damage into Ryan's squad to get back in this.
And we are now joined by Rivco champion 2 times,
Ooh, yeah.
Trevor Betts, top 16 player.
Did you say 2 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back to back. Mitch is winning his top 4 game pretty easily.
It's like I said, he probably came prepared to deal with Rebel Beef.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, I'm not really playing favorites, but I am hoping to see the 4-star Vipers in on stream before the end of the day. We didn't get them yesterday at all. All right, so 4's doing your 3K like you said.
Yeah.
What would you... So Sinker... What's Sinker going to do?
Does your sinker fly away? Maybe do like a 2-turn, 3 bank. Yeah, sinker's probably going to die.
This is some delicate maneuvering going on in here.
Looks like he just bumps with sinker. Oh no, bumps with torrent number 3. Ooh, does a 3K with torrent number 1. Wasn't quite sure if that fit or not. That's why I thought he might do the Talon roll instead. Looks like it fits. He did a 3K with the torrent that's in the back there. Barely fit. That's why I thought he was going to do a Talon roll.
Wow.
It's a gutsy call right there. So he goes straight with sinker. Looks like he bumps into Cassian. Still stressed. So the torrent number 2 still hasn't moved. Or has he?
Doesn't look like they've moved. And
Number 3 bumped intentionally.
I see. Okay.
Number 2, let's see if it moves.
It's hard to see on that Death Star. Wait, is that a moon?
That's no moon.
That's no moon.
That's
Okay,
no moon,
that is
okay.
a space station.
So I think Sean's deciding what to do with Cassian. I guess the torrent number 2 bumped into torrent number 3. I just missed it. Yeah, it's hard to tell with the Death Star. So he did the stop with 10. I'm assuming he used Leia's ability.
10 is dead.
10 is dead,
I
yes.
did.
10 is 0, yes.
We are a professional X-Wing streaming outfit here at Warlock Squadron. If you needed the reminder.
So it looks like Cassian stayed in place.
Everybody gets marked. I suppose we should be very thankful that if they're going to be right up on one table edge, It's the one right under the camera.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting way up here under the clock, as
Yeah.
has happened so often. Because we get quite a view of everything going on.
So it looked like he tried doing a Talon roll with the B-Wing here with Braylon.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't look like it fits. And if you pop Leia, that means Braylon's not distressed.
Which would normally be good, but B-Wings live in reverse world.
They love being stressed. Yeah, he just stays in place.
Oh, he must have tried a hard one. Because Sean just put a stress token down.
He may have coordinated the action with...
oh, okay.
I think that's what happened, yeah. So he did. So he does have the stress and focus.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he doesn't. Sean's not helping us out right now.
He just took his stress off?
Yeah, he just took it off. He's busy with something else.
Huh. Okay. So Wedge moved and got bumped.
Yes, and so Wedge will not be
Huh.
providing any effective offense this turn. Luminara, like range 2 on Cassian? Sinker reroll. Force. Whoever that was took 2 damage. He's shooting at Braylon. Braylon into, I'm guessing, Sinker. Gets 2 hits. That's a
Dead Sinker, yeah.
Sunk Sinker. Next up will be Cassian. Maybe trying to finish off Arc 2, or no, Torrent 2 in the back there.
I think he's shooting at number 3.
Yeah, range 1.
Yeah, that's because of range 1.
We're putting 1 damage down on that arc.
Alright, so number 2 is going to try to finish off Wedge with natties. 2 hits. 2 evade. Yeah. So he nattied out of it. Some fancy effects there.
We try. I just mentioned professional X-Wing streaming outfit. Did I not? Torrent number 1 in the back. Rolls 2.
Look like an
Into
evade.
Braylon because he fit.
Oh, it's 2, okay.
Working out to be Braylon Stram's no good, very bad day. Is it Stram or Strom?
Stram. Brain Stram.
Probably Stram. Usually the harder sound would probably get an H in there.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think most people do say Strom. So, Ryan's got 4 Torrents and his Jedi, Luminara, left. Sam's got Wedge at 2 health, Cassian's at full health, and Braylon's at 2 health. No more Sinker rerolls because Sinker's dead. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess here. I'm trying to think about what these players would do. Like, for example, does Wedge 4K or does he try to run away? He's only at 2 health.
Talon roll to his right.
You can do that as well, yeah. Cassian could do like a 3 bank to the right to coordinate a focus onto Wedge. Maybe do something like that. Maybe do a 2 straight or 3 straight because those torrents won't be there. Although he could get blocked.
Yeah.
Anyways,
2 could do a 1 straight barrel roll up and might be in the way. I like your 2 or 3 bank out to the right for Cassian better.
Yeah, and then coordinate a focus onto Wedge. Then you'll have Braylon in the back. Just trying to do damage. So it looks like torrent number 2 is at 2 health. Yeah, but the thing about Ryan's list is, since he has a lower initiative, you can cause those bumps to block Braylon's ability.
Yeah.
So Sean's got to think about doing a white maneuver to make sure that he keeps his stress. And he essentially has a target lock with his reroll ability.
Or a red move to get it.
He's already stressed. Oh, that's okay. He's not stressed.
Yeah, from above, B-Wings and arcs really look similar.
Yeah, they do.
They're made by the same company?
I believe so.
Disney?
Disney. Alright, so Ryan just bumps here with torrent number 3.
Yeah, if the formation stays static, it'll give him some shots at Braylon. And it would be hard for both Cassian and Braylon to get past him. Trooper number 4 says, I'm going to get Wedge. Sure you are, buddy.
Now, Braylon could intentionally bump himself by doing a 3 bank and bump into Cassian as well. That's another option he has.
It was 2K, right?
Or you do the 2K.
You could try it for a 2K, and well, he probably wouldn't have dialed that in because if that torrent wasn't there, he would actually clear and might not want that. The idea being maybe he could self-stress himself with his move.
Yeah. If he keeps Cassian in there, he'd bump himself, get the... Although he would be taking 2 shots here. It looked like Cassian just stayed in place, so... Wedge is doing the... Oh no, he's not moving yet, sorry. Luminar is moving.
There you go. Yeah.
The old pizza, yeah. So Luminar has moved. So now it's going to be Braylon.
Braylon must have dialed in something that stressed him because now that's pretty clearly his.
Yeah. So probably just the 2K. So Wedge does the Talon roll, yeah. So this is probably the right idea for Sean to keep Cassian there just so he can get a shot off.
Well, the thing is, the Death Star is going to shoot Wedge. right, he's just doomed.
I thought you were going to say Wedge is like the laser because he's right on top of the laser point of the Death Star.
Sean really landed it right there.
Oh, man.
Like, that's very cinematic.
With Looks like it's range 2 shot on Luminara. So that's... Looked like that was cocked. So Luminara gets 2 dice. Nattied out of it. Ryan's very happy. They're doing voices now.
You can't hear him. He's doing the Swedish Chef voice from the Muppets, and it's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Well, what does he want to call his squad? The Swedish pork or whatever? He's putting his back into this.
He's really selling it. Good for him. Okay, Braylon into...
So it looked like Luminar didn't land anything. Braylon. Oh! Those are... Alright, these guys are just having fun now. So we're only the 2 with Braylon's ability. 3 hits. Shooting at number 3. Torn number 3.
I have lost track. 1... I think this was 2, 3, and I know 4 is right. Okay, so that's how it's set up.
So it looks like he forgot to let Luminara use his ability, so they're doing it now. And ended up being 2 hits. Looked like something got through.
So what's the etiquette when your opponent has the opportunity to mod your dice? How long do you wait before you move on? Because if you say, hey, do you want to mod your dice, you're reminding them. Which is kind of actively working against yourself.
I think in a way you're reminding him because you have to give him that time. Or you just say, would you like to do anything? Which is reminding him as well. You have to give him that time.
Right.
Which you have to tell him that, indicate to them that he has the opportunity to do the modification. Or you just ask, I'm going to re-roll my dice now. Pause a second, see if they say anything. If they say okay, that's another way to do it.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that was torn number 3 into Braylon. Actually, now it's torn 3 number to Braylon. He natty 3.
It looks like Braylon died from the previous round, and that went into Cassian.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he didn't reroll. Looks like another hit gets into him. It gets into Cassian. Yeah, I think Ryan's feeling pretty good about this.
Yes, Luminaire survived a close encounter with Wedge there and did so without a scratch. Cassian is close to die. Wedge is down to 2 hull. And Ryan is only short sinker and some paint on the troopers.
Wow.
A very bumper car match there in the bottom half of the bottom strip, the bottom lane.
These guys just decided to go for the joust and make it interesting from the start.
They did. We did start the recording late. Ryan started his arcs in the middle of his side, and they came down and turned in. They started where he's placing his dials, pretty much facing center. Okay. Sean started at the bottom left or right corner, facing across, and has pretty much just gone straight to get where he is now. Ryan had Sinker and Luminara tucked in the bottom left corner, though, in like a temporary fortressing configuration. And he brought the arcs down. So he was positioned to... So Ryan would have been in a pickle if Sean had started in the upper right corner, because he wants Sinker, who's down in the bottom left, to get up and escort the troopers, which started in the middle.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sean had started in the opposite corner, he would have fared better. Ryan probably would have just gone slower.
Yeah.
Got until he gathered his forces.
Ryan's very patient.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very patient player. So I think he would have been okay with that, I think. Just waited for the right engagement for him. So for Sean, I think wedge probably does a 1 straight. Or maybe a 2.
Yeah.
So Braylon's not on the board, okay. I was thinking that turn number 1 was Braylon, but it's not. Braylon's off the board, so... Yeah, I think wedge probably just does a 1 straight. Focuses.
So what about torrent 4 down here? 1 bank barrel roll, see if we can catch a block, or 1 hard.
I don't think so. The block that I think could come from was from torrent number 1, but I don't think he can't reach. No.
I don't know if they're
They can do a
fast
4
enough.
straight. 2, 3, 4. Actually, maybe. Maybe. It's hard to tell on the stream, but I think a 4 straight might be able to block it. No, he decides just to bump into Cassian. It's probably the safer move. He probably just K-turns with torrent number 3. Maybe do a 2 talon roll with torrent number 2. Probably just K-turns with number 4 as well. Oh, no, he doesn't K-turn. He just goes straight.
Too hard. From torrent number 4.
Oh. I wonder why he did that with torrent number 3.
Talon roll with torrent number 4.
Okay. I wonder if he put in the wrong dial with number 3. Okay, he does the K turn. Cassian just bumps into Luminara. So he does a 1 turn. I think this is, yeah. I think that's what you were talking about. Only thing is if he stays in arc of Cassian, Luminara could take some damage. Luminar could boost barrel roll, and she would be safe. It's gonna barrel roll first. Okay. Then Luminar gets an action, or yeah, focus. Oh, he goes fast with wedge here. I was kind of surprised he went in that fast.
I am as well. Really kind of self-blocked himself.
Because I thought the 1 straight and just focusing would have been safe. I don't think he would have bumped into number 4. It seemed unlikely that a block would happen. So wedge gets to shoot first. Assuming he's shooting into number 2. Yeah, I don't know what they're discussing here.
I believe they're seeing if whoever Wedge is going to shoot at is in Wedge's bullseye arc, so Luminara's capabilities aren't in effect, or just checking range.
Oh, okay. I don't think Ryan rolled any defensive dice. Yeah, they paused play for a second, it looks like.
Yeah. Someone on the other side as well is vigorously rolling dice. They're really into it. I think we're just Sean trying to decide what he's going to shoot at. Looks like it may not matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there.
Oh, we
That
got
was
a crit.
Crit into...
Looks there wasn't a direct hit that killed. No, it was not a direct hit. It didn't kill anybody.
All right, Frosty shooting back.
The correspondent over there will update the. Oh.
Ooh. Is that it?
Looks like only one got.
Well, only one damage. So Wedge is still alive for now. So range 2 shot from number 2. Nothing.
Variant swinging the other way there.
Reroll. Guess he got a target lock.
I see.
Well, he's got one more shot. Oh no, that was the end of the round. Okay.
Cassian didn't shoot?
I think he did. Maybe that the first time Sean rolled his dice was for Cassian.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so surprised about torrent number 3 doing that straight maneuver. I don't know if that was just a mistake.
Wedge down to 1 hull. Braylon down to 1 shield and 5 hull. Luminar untouched. 2 troopers with some damage.
So I believe Leia is going to be available for him.
Yes, it looks like her right next to Sean's left wrist. You can kind of see those metal tokens. They're hard to read on stream, but those really look like they're all face up.
By my count, it's been 3 turns.
That as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess... Oh, man. Luminara is at 4 health. Man. So Wedge could do a 4K. I mean, Frost could block that if he wanted to, but I don't think Frost is going to try that. And then he can stay in place, turn Cassian in the direction he needs to, and still get an action. Okay, so Ryan's ahead by a lot, so...
Fairly commanding lead.
Yeah, fairly commanding lead. Sean has 15 minutes to make something happen. Luminara is worth 46 points. But Wedge is at only 1 health. Yikes. Yeah, it's a tough spot for Sean right now.
Yeah. Probably the most... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ryan, I think, just does a 1 straight with torrent number 4. I don't know if that bumps Wedge or not. think it does, but it's hard to tell at that angle.
Imagine some wiggle room might
Yeah.
let him land safe. That I was gonna say that's probably the biggest downside to playing, a meta list like this is that someone's gonna gun against it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Ryan has designed a list that works well against it. We saw a lot of Tie Swarm which do well against it. We saw Mike Ramirez with that unusual.
He flies a lot of unusual lists.
Yeah, we were calling him a mad scientist with love, because he is, and he's a great player. And he will, when you play Mike, he needs to explain his list to you, because it's going to bring stuff that you haven't seen before. Anyway, he was bringing Han, who loves to shoot at things that are stressed. Scum Han, because
Yes.
he only plays Scum. So, and I'm sure there were other people who teched against this and maybe didn't get under the camera.
The other thing, like whatever Rebel Beef does, it's not going to surprise people. I mean, you pop Leia, do your K turns, whatever. You use coordinate to give someone an action. It doesn't surprise people. Whereas with Ryan's list, I think people aren't quite sure what it does, or aren't familiar with it, I should say. So I think it catches people by surprise.
So we are getting a points adjustment on the 25th, 28th.
26, yeah, around
26.
that time, yeah.
A little over 2 weeks. What are you saying? What are you thinking Leia's going to end up at? She started at 8, then she's down to 2, and we're like, whoa, ease up there, FFG. But she didn't see any use at all at 8. So
I'd say 5 points, 4 or 5 points.
5 points.
4 or 5 points, yeah, in that range. I mean, it's good to have rebels in the meta.
Yes.
I think that's a good thing. And that's a way to keep them in the meta. So it looks like that torrent did bump.
Okay.
Is that a Talon Roll? Huh. Yes. So he's expecting a wedge to fly past him. I thought maybe he might do a straight with a torrent to maybe block wedge and do maybe like a 3K or Talon Roll with torrent number 3. So torrent number 2. So I'm trying to figure out an action. I think he's considering the barrel roll to try to block wedge maybe. So he did blue maneuver, and so he's just gonna focus. Imagine he's gonna turn around. Yeah, 2 Talon Roll. Oh. So it looked like he popped Leia. He's turning around the Ewing. So just a focus for Cassian. Yeah, I think he's just kind of slow playing Luminar a little bit. I guess he's going to target lock unless he thinks Wedge is going to do a 2-turn or something like that. Yeah, he's going to target lock. Wedge, it looks like. Oh, target locking. Yeah, he did target lock wedge.
All right. Wedge with the
4K.
White 4K, pretty good.
Pretty good. So wedge at 1 health probably doesn't survive this round. Oh no, it's a straight maneuver. So he just focuses and take a shot at torrent number 3 there. So I'm going to check to see if it's range 1. He could kill torrent number 3 if he rolls all paint. Was it range 1? Looks like it's 3 dice. All paint. Deciding whether to spend a focus. Looks like a hit and 2 focuses. He could kill the torrent, but Sean wants to save that focus for defense. Decides to go for it. So the torrent's dead. Torrent number 3 is off the table. Everything's fine.
We're all fine here. How are you?
So Cassian's going to try to take out number 2. Ooh, 3 hits. Looks like a crit in there as well. So it looks like 1 crit for number 2, torrent number 2. He flipped it over. Is that panic pilot? Was that direct hit?
I might have had these switched. If I'm looking up here.
Yeah, I think you're right. So number 1's shooting at Wedge, trying to kill Wedge. So that's it for Wedge.
That it is.
Oh no, that's the Wedge shot.
No, he put a damage on Cassian.
He rolled 2 dice though, and he turned around. He should have only rolled 1 dice. Oh well. Cassian versus the world, Sean says. Well, he's been doing this since he was 6 years old, right?
Now you're really in trouble, Ryan. When you're watching this video, you can. This is when it all goes downhill. All those other guys are out of Cassian's way. He just needed some elbow room.
$5 minutes, yeah, it's... Man, yeah, it's...
Let's see if there's a result. The other match is doing something.
Yeah, so Sean just has a lot of bad options. He could just do a 1 straight, try to take a shot on torrent number 1. Or, yeah, it's just not looking good for Sean right here. Yeah. And Ryan just bumps here just to make sure that torrent gets a shot off. Yeah, so if I were Sean, I'd probably just do one straight just to bump in that torrent or make sure you get a shot off. Unless you did a two straight. The problem with that, he gets shot at by Luminara. So again, just a lot of bad options for Sean.
According to our correspondent Trevor Betts, it's not looking so great for Potshot. He's down to a pair of Star Vipers versus Wedge and one of the B-Wings.
Yikes. So Jeff doing well on the other table. So this was Cassian into torrent number, or the torrent on the bottom right here. Doesn't look like he took any damage. And no shots for Ryan. So it looks like this is going to be, if things go the way they're going right now, Ryan versus Jeff in the final table. Which that means Jeff gets a World's invite because Mitch Hurst already has one.
Does he?
Yes. Ryan, I was going to say Mitchell Hurst too also has one. Ryan Frost went undefeated
That's right.
at the System Open, not the Swiss, but the Trials, Hyperspace.
Hyperspace qualifier.
Hyperspace qualifier. So he has his World's invite. So I think that'll make Jeff happy here.
Did Disney get like a trademark on the word hyperspace? They get like a nickel every time we say it or something like that?
Yes.
That's why this is Hyperspace trial and Hyperspace qualifier and
Hyperspace Prime.
Hyperspace deodorant. Merchandising. Well, everything's getting renamed again, and these will next time be what, Prime Championships?
Prime Championships. That's nationals, right?
No, those are Grand Championships. No, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, it's not the Hyperspace Trials. They got changed, right? I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
People still call it regionals, which I like.
I'm really having a hard time not calling it regionals.
Yeah. Well, for us in SoCal, it's definitely a regional because there's only one in SoCal this season.
And coming down to literally the last minute.
So it looks like Frost did a 3K. Yeah, this is probably going to be the last round. There's only 40 seconds left. Yeah, this is, yeah.
Cassian making his move. Nope.
Yeah, so Ryan's list out jousted Rebel Beef here.
Mm-hmm.
Which provides some interesting insight.
Well, I've always thought, and I'd love to get your opinion on it, that Rebel Beef isn't a jousting list. it's a knife fighting list that's also good at jousting.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Say versus a tie swarm, which needs to get the formations are going to break up and things are going to get a lot degraded as you after the joust. Whereas this thing, you do two talon rolls or 1Ks or whatever the B wings have, and they barrel roll and they're stressed and they're actually better for it. And they have really good stress removal. And that's the handshake. So pretty decisive win for Ryan Frost there. Congrats to him. Excuse me. Congrats to him and to Sean McCord for making the top 4. Ryan will go on to our top table. Now, it is entirely possible that we, and I'm sad to say this, may not have the top table on stream. One of the players may not want to be on stream, and that is entirely their right and privilege to say so. Sorry to not bring it to you. I'll get to watch it, so haha. But if this is our last show or match from this tournament, I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. Thank you from me, from my co-host yesterday, Gabe, and my co-hosts today, Mitch and Alex here, as well as our correspondents, Trevor and Mitch again, and everyone at Warlock Squadron and GMI Games. Thank you for tuning in, and we will hopefully see you again soon with another tournament. Got anything to close up with?
Yeah, thanks to GMI and all the Warlocks and Mitch Hurst and Charles England for putting on the event.
Thank you to Charles for marshaling this event and his heroic efforts at bringing it home. And be sure to tune into the Academy Rejects podcast.
Yeah, and thanks to GMI for being the only Hyperspace trials in SoCal. They were the one store that stepped up to the plate and actually brought us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had one this season. So thanks to GMI especially.
Yes. And so that'll might possibly conclude our broadcast for the day. So thank you for watching.